Welcome to another edition of Action 14. I'm Mike Briggs. We're going to bring you information from the school, from the city, and of course from people around the area. And to start things out, welcome to the show, Conrad.
Thank you.
I have
Thank you.
Conrad Kaskowski of the Plymouth American Legion with me. And first of all, let's talk about March. March is a very important month for the American Legion and really for the Plymouth American Legion.
Right. The history goes back to 1919 in Paris, and the Army Expeditionary Force guys got together and said, hey, let's not be forgotten. And they came up with this, the American Legion. Although that was not going to be the first name. It's interesting enough. I read about this, and I had always wondered how this happened. Well, there was all discussion that it was going to center around World War I. Well, I think somebody came up with the idea and said, hey, look, there is an organization devoted to the Civil War veterans called the Grand Army of the Republic. And you know that they, at that time, hey, these guys are getting like up there in age, and what's going to happen to the organization. So it was kind of a generic name to use American Legion. That way it would encompass for quite a while.
Yeah, so in 1919, the name American Legion got started in Paris following World War I.
Right.
But the Plymouth American Legion also has March in its history.
Right. It was chartered on March 20th, 1920. And oddly enough, there was also at that time a Grand Army of the Republic post here in Plymouth. So it all kind of dovetail right into one another.
Well, yeah, you're looking pretty good for 103 years old,
Yeah,
Plymouth American Legion.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad. In fact, just to let you know, one of our members is 101.
Is that right?
He's going to be 102 in June. It's Norm Halloran, he's a World War II veteran. So yeah, in fact, we had a little discussion about that when he retired. And I don't think that the Air Force thought he was ever going to be still around in 2022 with his retirement.
Now, you do a lot of things for the American Legion. I know there's breakfasts and there's soup and there's a bit. Why do you run those items?
Well, okay, the soup idea is through the auxiliary. They also we'll maybe discuss later about their broad fry coming up. And it's our source of helping fund other, not only veteran issues, but also community issues. Fire department, things like that. Help out where we can in that area. So we do have designated funds for other stuff. And our building is from 1906, and it takes a lot of tender, loving care, so it's a little expensive once in a while to do that.
And just briefly, let's talk about the fact that not only do you support locally and keep track of your building, but you also support a camp. I did not realize this until just recently.
Right, Camp American Legion in Oneida County, founded in 1925, is open to all veterans. You don't have to be a member of the American Legion, even though that's what it's called. And the one part about it is it's free. It's the only one in the country of this type that is free to veterans.
And you can go to Camp American Legion, one long word, campamericanlegion.org.
Correct.
And you can find information about it, because it shocked me that you have a camp for veterans and their families.
Correct.
At no cost.
At no cost, right.
And so that's something that the Plymouth American Legion and all the American Legion throughout the state support.
Oh, definitely. It does take all of us to support it one way or another.
Well, let's talk about another thing that has come up recently, because you had this idea a year ago or so to do a veteran to veteran, vet to vet we call it, on TV 14, and it has changed and grown, and you get calls from all over.
Yeah.
You started this 15-minute show that we're playing on Little Plymouth, Wisconsin, but we put it on YouTube a couple times, and then what happens?
Well, we've heard from Florida, California, Illinois, a little bit, a couple of states out east. And so far, no Emmy nominations, but the information is greatly appreciated. And with the help of Gary Kaiser putting in, for our local anyway, the Veteran Service Office, because anytime I get a question, hey, what about, I go, wait a minute, okay, I'll give you a basic, but to do everything, you need to go contact the Sheboygan County Veteran Service Office.
Now, what gave you this idea to do this 15-minute show?
Because of all the phone calls I would get asking me this and asking me that. And so now it's kind of easy to refer it, and then we kind of send it out to our membership too. So that's kind of cut down on some of that.
And so every month you prepare by looking what would be a good question, or you actually have received a few questions
Right.
That you answer to the public to help out the veterans.
Right, that's our main source of going and asking frequently asked questions on different sites, and then we ask our members, hey, what do you have a question about something, and leading up to veterans issues and that, so we picked up a few there.
Yeah. Now, you've been doing several shows. The last one was about Camp American Legion, but you actually have another item that you're involved with a study that I found very interesting that came up on a show.
Yes, I was contacted by the Milwaukee veterans have been coming and involved in a certain research called Preventable, and that deals with dementia and Alzheimer's. And well, you take a medication, you don't know if it's that medication or not, but it's a statin that's being used for if you have blocked arteries, etc. And to see if that does offset dementia and Alzheimer's. And they're in the process of trying to get 20,000 people involved. And so I got into the mix of that.
Yeah. And now you get a phone call from out east asking you a question about a TV show in Plymouth, Wisconsin. What kind of question do you get?
Well, the one that I was really floored by was from Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, about this Preventable, and we did a Preventable show. And that is the home base for Preventable, the research center. And they thought it was something that we would put this show together and put the word out. And then from there, asked me, here in lonely Plymouth, Wisconsin, if I would be on a national advisory committee. And I said, well, if it got this far, I said, sure. And so I just had, about a week or so ago, my first Zoom meeting. And I'm here to tell you, I was floored. I mean, we have a doctor from I think he's from Illinois, and we have a nurse from Louisiana, someone from Florida, another person from North Carolina, another person from Virginia, and here I am. You're asking my advice, so I'm trying to help them out.
Yep. Now, you have not done this show by yourself. You have a person that comes on every time with you.
Right. Dwayne Wick, I kind of bent his arm pretty hard, and he said, sure, I'll join you. And so he's been very faithful in our dates that we set together and come in and join with me. But I want to just point out a couple other things when we were briefly discussing American Legion, and that is the significance of the state of Wisconsin. The very first female national commander, Denise Rohan, from Verona, Wisconsin.
Okay.
She became the commander in 2017. Prior to that, in 2012, she became the first female state American Legion commander. Now that really opened up a lot of doors and for women to come into our organization. And we had, since 2015, our first post commander was female. Kelly Wolford. She was serving in the United States Army. So, you know, things like that really kind of rejuvenate you and say, hey, look, you know. And also, nationally, you know, there were women that served in the military during World War I. They were invited to join the Legion.
Okay.
And also, they were given the opportunity to vote. You know, they were not allowed to vote until 1920. So,
Okay.
looking at.
Yep. Now, another item that is, we've had kind of a rough couple of years, but I heard the parade is coming back.
Yes, the parade is coming. I just started the application, getting the map together. Some of the groundwork has already been done. Fortunately, had a meeting with the high school band director. It's all excited about it. Wants make sure that they're included. And I said, you bet. In contact with a few other people. So it's all starting to come together again. And I know that last year we had it out here at the high school. And, you know, that was good. People liked it. But I don't know how many times I had somebody step over to me, no, we're going to have a parade. Are we going to have it? I said, okay, so, yeah, we're going to have a parade. Be 10 o'clock in the morning. I believe it's the actual Memorial Day, which 31st of May, something like that.
Yep.
You know, 10 a.m. Step off and ends at Union Cemetery for our traditional program.
And we should talk a little bit about a brat fry, too.
Yes, the Ladies Auxiliary have their annual brat fry. The location, well, we're still discussing that.
Okay.
Or they're discussing that.
So we still plan on having not only the parade, everything in the cemetery, and also the brat fry. Everything looks at this point that it's going to be a go.
Right, and also the week before will be the distribution of poppies that will be handed out, and that's a great thing to help out the veterans, mainly that are in the hospitals and et cetera.
Yeah, well, let's before you leave, let's just remind everybody again that you can see Vet to Vet on TV 14, of course, but at the same time, you can go to YouTube and find it.
Oh, yeah.
It's Veteran to Veteran, Vet to Vet, and you can see Conrad give you all that information about all the questions that come up regarding being a veteran.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, thank you
Appreciate it.
for doing this program for TV 14, and I hope you have fun with all the activities that this has brought on.
Oh, it's been a good bit. Yep, just enjoying it all.
Okay. Thank you again, Conrad.
bet.
When we come back, I've got the mayor ready to sit down on the hot seat and give me some information about what's happening in and around Plymouth. So stay right with us. You're watching Action 14. Welcome back to Action 14. As promised, I've got the mayor on the hot seat. Welcome to the show, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. It's always a pleasure to be here with our TV 14 viewers and tell them some of the things that are going out and about the community and highlight some of the excitement that's going on.
Yeah. Now, I did see that we might have a little bit of snow in the end of the month here of March, but we're talking spring. It feels like spring, the rain we've been getting, and now it's time to do the cleanup crew because it's all getting ready for...
Yeah, some serious cleanup as is always the case, and you know, that's the kind of thing that sometimes we don't think about, you know, as citizens, and it's really quite a job that our different departments do in the city.
But let's talk about some great things that happened because the Chamber of Commerce, first of all, I should congratulate them, their 100th anniversary of the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce, and some awards. Let's talk about the first award, okay?
Okay, thank you, Mike. The Chamber Gala celebrated their 100th, as you said, and because they've kind of stayed away from it for a couple of years, they put 3 years together, and the 2020 Innovation Award was awarded to Plymouth Library. And that was something that I think we can be very proud of course, being a Carnegie Library on top of it. That's something that was a new award that grew out of, I think, COVID and all of the experiences that we had. As chairman of the board of trustees for LTC, I was kind of split
That's right.
on,
You had
on
L-
which one to go for
Yeah.
because the other nominee was LTC.
Yeah.
So I'm there with the LTC group and I'm there with the city group and it's like, okay, which one do I root for? And the recipient was the Plymouth Library, which has done a fabulous job in circulation and improvising through COVID, increase in circulation, increasing the timeline and the book count and the online services. It's just been a tremendous redevelopment of learning and reading, and we couldn't be happier to have the library represent us in this way.
Well, it shocked me, some of the numbers and things you were telling me about how the Plymouth Library has more happening than any other library around.
It is, location is important, but I think opportunity, services, the timing of being able to have access, and all of that is brought about, I think, because we are a very open yet carefully, monitored library system. But the online services have increased substantially. They work with the school systems, of course, but we get more activity in the Plymouth Library from out-of-town residents than any other library in the county, who also obviously have out-of-town residents, but they seem to like what we offer, when we offer it, and the accessibility that we offer. And I think Leslie's done a fabulous job, and she's certainly very deserving, her and her staff, of this award.
Well, that was just one award, though, but another award came up that was new also that I should congratulate, called Friends of the Chapter.
Right, and the chamber had they were looking for, I think, groups, units that seem to go above and beyond the normal circumstances that are required. And here we are with a City of Plymouth garage that we see them out, we see them driving around, but they're doing multiple tasks, driving from this place to that place, and sometimes the cleanup that goes on, the preparation ahead of time, and the timing of it, when the rest of us are all busy on holidays and doing something, they're out there getting the signs up, getting the barricades up, doing the things that make it convenient for us. And within an hour after the parade or after Mill Street or anything else, you don't even know that there was an event downtown. And it's nice that they were recognized for all of their due diligence and doing things the right way, and especially working, I think, under the circumstances of COVID and all the restrictions that were on. And once again, we didn't have any flaws in the process. It's really lucky to have, I think, such dedicated team members, and our hats off to them and all of their efforts that they put into it to make it easy and convenient for us.
Particularly over the last 2 years when you had to change shifts, you had people working different timelines, and you still got it all done effectively.
We did, and we did because of their extended efforts that I don't think if you're behind the scenes and you see things, you see the extra effort that went into it, and it was really a surprise that others recognized that effort. So we'll be presenting these awards to both departments at a future council meeting, and we're very proud of what they've done.
Now, you've got a public event coming up on March 31st, Downtown Design Project, and until I read about this, I was not even aware that it dates back to 2013.
It is. That was the first time that we sat down and put together a group of people to talk about, okay, what do we want downtown? What do we have downtown? What can we build off of downtown? And how can we enhance it? Through that whole process back in 2013, we thought, okay, we're going to have to get some pizzazz. We're going to have to get some credibility. We're going to have to get some uniformity going. And since then, of course, the city downtown was designated a historical site. So we went through the state for that designation. And we're also on the national site now. So that was important. And we had to line these ducks up in a row. Part of it was because, of course, we had the cheese counter downtown, and that's a national historic site. So when you start putting all of the different pieces together, then it kind of slowed down for a while. And with things opening up again, we've been at this now for a year and a half with the committee, going through different things and saying, okay, we've improved the Lion Stair Park downtown.
Right.
We've put the bathrooms in downtown for public events, and providing some of these amenities has given us the chance now to address how do we want downtown to look. And we don't want to take away from the historic nature of it. We don't want to change the architecture or anything else. We actually want to accent some of those different things and encourage through some monetary awards, through some efforts working with the downtown business owners to have each of those properties have some kind of look, identity to them and their business, but to blend together in an overall plan. And that's the meeting that you're talking about that's finally coming out to the public. We've had 2 public meetings already, but they were rather low key and everything. This one will be at the Art Center from 6 to 7:30, I believe it is,
That is correct.
on March 31st. And that will be a short presentation by an individual, Brad from MSA, that's doing this for us. And we contracted that through the city. So he will explain some of the efforts that went into it, some of the overall concepts. And then we'll have about a dozen different stations that people can go and look at and see some of the ideas that have been presented and make comments on those. We want the public input in order to facilitate how we want it to look. It's not any one person's approach to it. And at the same time, what would we like to see here in downtown Plymouth? It is a unique downtown, and I think that we can provide some of these incentives through tax breaks, through different vehicles that coincidentally came about partly because of COVID, because of some of the national stimulus that's come out of Washington. So we're really looking at a wide range of trying to fund this from a organized, not slow walk, not fast walk, but public perspective.
Yeah, and you do get some help financially because we're a historic district.
Correct.
That is one helpful item.
And that's why we had to set that stage up first in order to accommodate that mechanism into our process. And now that we have that, this is the next natural progression out of that. So we're really looking at a unique opportunity here. And we certainly think the venue will attract people to come down, see what's been going on, and give us some of their ideas.
Yeah. Now, there's one other item that I've been hearing rumors about a possible development at the old Kmart building, something that has been empty quite a while, and I'm wondering if you can give me any insight on any of that.
Well, as usual, you have good
Yeah.
sources. We've been working for some time on the Kmart redevelopment. One of our resources in the past has been a TIF district. We're currently what they refer to as being TIF'd out, that we're beyond our 12% limit that we're allowed to have for incentivizing some development. And at this point, we exceed that. So we have talked with state officials, and if we have an opportunity to exceed this 12% limit, we'll then, it depends on the developer, if he wants to pull the trigger and go forward with trying to develop the Kmart property. Once again, opportunity is knocking at our door from the standpoint that Highway 23 has already increased our traffic.
Certainly.
And being at the crossroads of now 23 and 57 with 43 on the one side and Fond du Lac and 151, 41 on the other side, we're getting follow-up inquiries from national stores that are saying, you know, Plymouth is a good community that we think we're a good fit for, and that we can merchandise our products in the community. And that's something that has been hot and cold for probably 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Coming out of all of this, having this opportunity now with, for whatever reason, they require car count, mileage. They require traffic count in order to be able to put businesses in locations. And we are now getting that traffic count up. So we're excited that this could be the springboard that we're looking for.
Okay.
And we're hoping to have something relatively soon. But we do have a tenant for the property, and I think that the community will be excited to see that coming in 22.
Okay, so there's hope of filling it, is what you're telling me, that rumor is true.
It's a vicious rumor that's probably true.
Yeah, okay. But we have to understand that back to Highway 23, there's only 6 miles left to go. And so far, everything looks beautiful all the way out. To get those 6 miles done, the last 6 miles into Fond du Lac, and it's going to be an easy ride. The change is tremendous.
It is tremendous, and we've been in constant contact with the Department of Transportation. The funding is there, it's a goal, and we're looking at September, for all practical purposes, having the last leg finished
Sure.
in Fond du Lac, and that'll really open things up significantly.
It will. Now, one other item that I just want to just bring up before we close out, is there any follow-up information regarding the complete of hiring and filling all of your staff?
We put out our administrator a week ago.
Right?
It's now on the website, and we have 3 weeks left of application acceptance for that. We have been talking with our consultant on that, and we are getting calls both in-state and out-of-state. I think that the reputation that Plymouth has for being a very welcoming community is spreading wide and beyond. So we feel we're going to have some very good candidates.
Okay.
There are a lot of administrator positions open in the state itself. But we are seeing a significant amount of interest in Plymouth, and I think location has a lot to do with it. We're an hour from Milwaukee, we're an hour from Green Bay, we're an hour from the Fox Valley, hour and a half to Madison, especially with 23 being completed. So I think that we're in a great location for people that are in transition and or coming or going. We have a great school system. So we feel that we're going to have some really good candidates, and I would hope that we're going to have somebody on the job by September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's out there, people now have 3 weeks to go,
Yep.
and then you'll start looking more carefully at who's interested.
Narrowing it down and making our selection process. And we're also going to have some citizen input on it, which we did 10 years ago when we had our first administrator. So I think that the process will play out very well for us, and we're looking forward to it.
And wrapping up here, we've wrapped up winter, we hope, and now it's prepared for spring and summer, and because we know the Memorial Parade is going to happen.
Oh, boy.
And we did have the March of Irish. It's getting closer to being normal again.
It is, and those are the things that I think we enjoy, being outside and enjoying things, and that's what helps make Plymouth Plymouth.
Yeah. Well, I certainly want to thank you for being on.
You're welcome.
And when we come back, I'm going to see if I can find Donna Hahn to talk about a few things with the Arts Center, so stay right with us. You're watching Action 14. Welcome back to Action 14. As promised, I've got Donna Hahn here to talk about everything happening at the Arts Center. After 25 or so years, we still keep it running.
Yes, we are.
It has been a very nice winter considering all of the issues we had to go through, that you still made things happen.
We did. We kept right on going, and we had smaller audiences, but we still had shows.
That you made it through. Let's talk about a few things happening right now. I think the first thing is painting outside, maybe. The first thing we should talk about, that's coming up.
Well, these are the award winners from our annual Paint the Town event, which is usually held in October. And this past year, our judge chose 13 winners for prizes, and that was anywhere from $1,000 down to $100. And 11 of those artists are going to be showcased in the April exhibit called The Winners of the Plein Air Competition.
Okay. But now the winners of the award winners are April 1st through the 29th.
That's correct.
That's when you can come in and see those
Yes.
people that have painted around the city of Plymouth.
They have. And Elkhart Lake or Road America or Glen Beulah, a lot of different places. These particular award winners are going to showcase their work. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be from Plymouth, so it's just a combination of their works. So they'll each have 5 to 7 pieces in the show, and we're going to have a party.
Yep.
So April 1st, it's a Friday evening from 5 to 7, and Steve Hamer is going to play the piano, and we'll have hors d'oeuvres and other appetizers and desserts. And so we invite everybody to stop on down
On April 1st.
on April 1st.
Yes, let's enjoy it, okay? And you have your gathering on April 1st, but the month of April is going to be featuring those artists.
Yes, that'll be dedicated to that particular group of artists.
Well, now let's talk about music. We finally have another musical coming up here.
We do.
19th annual, is that right?
It's our 19th annual spring concert featuring the Plymouth Arts Center Singers. They're directed by Barb Zerwas-Neisy, and Mary Fellens and Tom Armstrong are going to accompany the group again this year. And there are 37 local folks that are going to be singing. They're very talented, and they're going to put on a nice show for the community.
And it's going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Saturday the 23rd of April, and Sunday the 24th matinee.
That's correct.
2 shows. One is going to be Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
That is a little different because we've been typically having shows on Friday night and Saturday night, but this time we're going to change it up a little bit.
And the neat part is that you probably have more artists than you've had in the past. And when you put 37 people, local people that are going to be singing for you, I do hope we show up.
Oh, yes. We always sell out, so we advise people to get their tickets early. They are online right now, so you can go to our website or our Facebook page and, find us.
That's PlymouthArts.org. PlymouthArts.org, and you can pick it up online. But I still advise you, stop on down.
Yes, absolutely.
Because not only is there a show going on, there's always visual art happening down
Yes.
at the Arts Center, and there's always new items to purchase. It's always neat to come in.
Visit our gift shop. We always have new items coming into the gift shop.
Yeah.
And just visit with us. We love to see you.
That's right.
Become a member.
It's all part of supporting the art in Plymouth.
Yes.
And so not only do we have the April 1st through the 29th, we're going to have art on the walls, but you're going to have some music on April 23rd and 24th.
Great.
Find out about all of this at PlymouthArts.org or stop down at the Arts Center. All good. Now, we also have something else that's coming up. Let's talk about May a little bit now, because the deadline to get your entries in was back in March.
That has passed. Yes.
March 11th, but Alive in the Arts will open on Friday, May 6th.
Yes. Another party.
Yeah, another gathering. Now tell me about Alive in the Arts.
Well, Live in the Arts is our annual juried show, and it's a competition, and artists pay money to get into this particular show. We do have a judge hired, and she's going to review all the images that have been submitted. Each artist can submit up to 2 images, and she'll select those images, and we'll find out very shortly who's going to be in the show. So even though you paid your money, you're not guaranteed you're going to be in the show. It's subject to her approval. So we'll select those winners, or those artists that are going to be in the show, and then we're going to notify them, and then we're going to have the opening reception. And at the opening, she will announce who the winners in the show are, and then we'll have prize money for those winners.
And that is on Friday, May 6th. Everything will open at 5 p.m. and the award ceremony at 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
and then music, etc.,
Yes.
and happenings after that.
It's always an exciting evening when an art show opens, and we invite the community to come down and be with us that evening, because it is exciting. We always have entertainment and
Yes.
free food, and we have a cash bar, so it's just a really nice evening.
Yep, we have a lot of people to thank for being able to sponsor these
Yes,
items.
absolutely.
And so we should stop down and enjoy the gathering. and also thank those people that are sponsoring.
Yes, and we have a lot of them right now, so we can't list them all today, but.
That is correct.
You know, if you go on our website, you're going to see all of our sponsors listed there, and there are connections to their particular websites as well.
And so we've got our April 1st through the 29th. You'll have your paintings out. We have some music going on the 23rd and 24th of April. And then May 6th at 5 p.m., we now have another show going to happen. And let's talk about the biggest item coming up.
Yes.
We're going to talk about this for the next 2 months because on June 10th and 11th, it's the Spring Art Tour, and it is unbelievable. 2 days of 40 artists at 17 different venues, and we have a map that you should be able to pick up down at the Arts Center.
Yes, or, you know, several places in the downtown area, and then some of our sponsors also have the brochures available.
And it's a fantastic brochure, too. It's one of the best, and it will walk you around, send you around to all the different locations,
Yes.
the 17 locations. Start at the Plymouth Arts Center because you have 7 different artists
Yes.
just there.
This time we do have quite a few artists, 7 of them, and we have 5,000 of these brochures, so we'd love to share them with our
Absolutely.
community and beyond. And if you know of a place that would love to have some on display, come on down and we'll give you a pack and you can, you know, deliver them. So we're hoping for a big turnout because we have so many artists in our community and beyond that are working in the arts. And we really want to showcase those artists and tell everybody, you know, how important they are to our community.
And it's not just Plymouth. We've got Elkhart Lake. We've got different areas that have multiple artists
Yes.
that will welcome you in. You will see activity that you may never see again.
Right. Some of these artists, they only open their studio for this particular event, so that's kind of a neat thing. And some of them are demo. They're going to have a demo. Or some may have snacks for you. I'm not sure.
I
Or
believe
door
there-
prizes.
I believe there will be some snacks and door prizes, but it's not just painting. We have painters, potters, furniture maker, fiber, glass, metal, leather artists, photographers, and much, much more.
Much more, yes.
Yes, it's just, so it's not just one type of art.
Correct.
See, that's the neat part about not only that, but the art that, Alive in the Arts that you're going to have on, starting May 6th, many different types of art
Right.
are available. So we want to make sure you mark down now. It is 2 days that you can use here. It is June 10th and 11th, starting at 10 a.m., both Friday and Saturday. And we'll run to 6 o'clock on Friday, run to 5 p.m. on Saturday for your Kettle Moraine Spring Art Tour.
And the best part about it, it's absolutely free.
Absolutely.
So you can take the whole family and, you know, have a nice outing on a weekend and visit with some very fine people that are very, you know, they're artists and they're a lot of fun.
Yep,
And
load
they
up the
love to
van.
talk about their art
Yes,
and their inspiration. So make it a fun weekend in Plymouth.
yes, load up the van, 17 different locations, 40 artists. That is June 10th and 11th. Okay, we've got lots
got
of
a lot.
music, lots of art,
Yeah.
lots of things happening down at the Arts Center. I'm looking forward to summer. We've got a lot of things happening, and we're getting
Yes.
some bit of normal back.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have a full spring planned. I mean, this just goes to June, so
Yeah.
stay tuned for more.
That's right. We'll be back with more,
Yes,
won't we?
yes.
Donna, I do want to thank you for being on.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Donna. And I want to thank you for watching. Until I see you next time, we'll be seeing you on the radio. Bye-bye.